Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anime Sickos, the podcast for geniuses, and the only podcast, period. On Anime Sickos, we look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I'm Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
I've just extricated myself from the podcast mines, where I was trapped with Andrew Sherman, my homie. We were looking at podcast concepts and trying to sort them into good and bad. We threw every single one into the big bad barrel. I looked into the good barrel. Andrew told me not to because it would invite madness. I looked into the good barrel, and Joe, it was empty, don't you know? So I'm glad to be back. I hear that while I was gone, you and Riley had a rock and chill hang.
Yeah, honestly, let's say it boosted my confidence because I didn't try that hard, and then everyone was like, "You crushed it, Joe." So, like, that feels great, and I'm gonna take that and continue to let Tom do everything he was doing before, and just sort of like wipe out the part of my brain that the Riley episode happened, and we're back to baseline.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of what I figured would happen.
Yeah.
It's good to be back in the sicko's seat. It's a metaphorical seat. It's the same chair no matter what I'm recording. But yeah, back at home base doing that sicko shit. And speaking of that sicko shit, Joe, you know what's one of those things we love doing on Anime Sickos is taking a sort of a vaguely understood concept that sort of exists as a formless mass on the edge of society's vision. We give it a silly name and hoot at it and go ook ook like apes and jump around.
I think you're sort of understating what we do. We have that formless mass, and then we sort of strangle coherence into it, usually between the hours of 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Yeah. I mean, well, we also say ook ook. Like that. While we're strangling, that's what we're saying. Like that gives us, it's a mantra that gives us power.
And you know, all the philosopher guys were always saying like the unexamined life is fine. Is that what they said?
Unexamined life rules. It's super fun. It's the best kind of life. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I'm gonna do the opposite of what they want because one of those guys drank poison. So how smart can they be?
Of all the things I drink, the one thing that I'm always super sure to avoid, that is poison. It's got to be poison. This idiot couldn't even do that.
But Tom and I recently came across a slice of life that is wholly unexamined, and it actually is a huge part of our lives.
Yeah, if you just like count up the hours in terms of like pure proportion, it's like a massive amount of the hours that I'm like conscious are occurring during this strange liminal state.
Mm-hmm. It is in theory leisure time.
And yet it's not, because leisure time sort of implies a freedom and an opportunity, like endless opportunity. In fact, it's when, you know, your life allows you to sort of freestyle with it, like get nutty. This is not occurring during this time. And to be clear, I'm gonna narrow it a little bit more down. I'm not gonna pin down the definition just yet, because that's, you know, we gotta do the long rollout to really make it fucking hit. But each of us are in a long-term relationship, and the time we're specifically talking about is when, in my case, wife, and in Joe's case, girlfriend, when one of them goes to bed. You might think to yourself, well, you should go to bed at the same time. That is an absurd proposition. Mm-hmm. Girls go to bed so fucking early. That will simply never happen.
Yeah, and from the second your partner goes to bed, the clock begins on what we call dude time.
Dude time, folks. It is a extremely powerful new state of being, completely different from any other type of wakefulness, any other type of activity going on in your life. Dude time is also, I gotta be clear, gender non-specific. Any gender can be a dude. Yeah. It's just as long as there's someone else going to bed before you have become a dude. If not permanently, at least an honorary dude.
Yeah, and in this time, this is when you can't blink.
Yeah, dude time is just like this sort of weird prison that you go into where you can only play JRPGs.
I've been thinking a lot about how much like stand up I consumed in the like the mid 2000s and how much of it was bad. And if this were done in that style, this is where we talk about like dude time is when you like jack off, and it's like absolutely not. Dude time is like a completely celibate like activity. It's like a monk like state.
We would never jack off because we're going to heaven, not in the Catholic way, in a different way.
Yeah, we don't know what that way is, but it's better.
I mean, to not to defend terrible early 2000s stand-up, there is sort of a grain of truth in that terrible framing, in that when one enters dude time, you sort of cede all control over your body and what you can do and what you will do, such that, again, like, you start playing JRPGs. You just start doing it, and like, it doesn't matter if they're bad or not. You could be playing this and being like, damn, this combat system really just has nothing to spice it up. It's just the bare minimum. Man, oh man, I'm doing a lot of grinding. This sucks. Like, it's just I can't get through this dungeon without 100 encounters. Now, if I was doing that during the day, my wife would say, this game looks terrible. And I'd say, yeah. And she'd be like, turn it off. And then I would. In dude time, I just play it until I fall asleep with controller in hand.
You know what I love about dude time? I love grinding with no goal. Just doing it for the love of the game.
I'm looking I'm looking at the document we worked on together defining dude time. I just have to read this. I think I glossed over this before. Joe, you wrote this, and it's so true that like I want to cry. It's illegal to drink water during dude time.
Yeah, because actually you're cheating yourself if you drink water, because like you have to sustain yourself during dude time on like sheer will. And like by drinking water, you're cheating.
Like, if anything, if you're going to put anything into your body, it has to be like actively harmful, and by which I mean Oreos. Like, you have to be eating poison. And I know I just said that I don't drink poison, but I don't drink Oreos. I eat them. That's different.
Yeah, you can't drink water. If there's like, I don't know, like a can of LaCroix that's like warm, that's fine.
Yeah, if it's cold, then it becomes like, it'd get like an honorary degree from like Water University. It like was spoke at the commencement. But like once it gets warm, then that's close enough to like sludge. Basically, you gotta be consuming sludge, and sort of your whole life becomes sludge in dude time.
Yeah, your eyes should just be really fucked up. I can't stress this enough. Like how fucked up your eyes get.
And
you can't wash your face either. That's the
no.
other thing too. Like you gotta like when you wake up the next day and you peel your head off that pillow.
There's got to be that tearing sound.
It should sound like Velcro. It should sound like Velcro.
Okay, so this is something that you've never experienced because you wear glasses exclusively, right?
Yeah. I can't do contacts because I saw the Debaser video when I was too young, and now I can't do them.
Yeah, I wear contacts all the time. I do have glasses, but when I wear them, it gives me a fucking massive headache because they're fucked up. They're shaped wrong, and it puts all the weight on the bridge of my nose and makes me feel like shit and want to puke. So I wear contacts all of the time. And Joe, this is a not infrequent dude time occurrence that is like truly lizard behavior, where you're playing a game or you're watching something on TV. You're sitting and you're in the dude time. You're in the sludge, and you just don't blink for a long time. And it's not because like you're playing a really intense rhythm game where you like have to be watching every frame. You're playing a JRPG, dude. Like you could take 100 years between turns, and the game
you can
wouldn't
be
notice.
Brain dead.
And I am. And you go to eventually blink, and the fucking mechanical force of your liddy lids pushing down forces out two little ping pong ball dry lenses right off of your eyes into your lap, and suddenly you're blind, and you're like, fuck. Dude time strikes again.
I had a dude time stint where I tried to learn Dwarf Fortress, and that game is just ASCII letters. Like, it's designed to make your eyes bleed. So it was like it was a difficulty modifier, and everything I learned I can only access during dude time. Like if I would try to think about Dwarf Fortress during the day, it was just like null values. I couldn't bring it up. But once dude time kicked in, like the wiki was in front of me mentally.
Dude, okay, so this is important because this is something. This speaks to a fundamental truth of dude time. And I think I'm going to illustrate this with like a sort of like illustrative fable, you know, like one of those 2-line fables that like explains it in a poetic way. A wife with no nen technique will ask you, what do you do during dude time? A powerful wife with a potent hatsu will never ask this question because she already knows the answer, and it is nothing.
Doesn't matter. Like nothing. It's the end of a roguelike run. Like it all goes away. It's not permanent.
It's just whatever. And like, if a historian were like watching you from the bushes and like marking down what was happening, certainly they would have a record of what you did.
No, they wouldn't actually, because they would go later the next day to look at their notebook, and it would be all blurry because it cannot be documented. It would be like a Bigfoot. It would be like every letter was Bigfoot. It would be really blurry.
The film in my pencil got exposed, and all the things I wrote are blurry now. That's how pencils work. They got film.
Just so we're clear, the person who wrote those would be covered in horrible boils.
Yeah. This person has sinned against God. Because like when you're in due time, just the content that you are putting into your eyeballs it becomes mush. Like at other points in your life, you can sort of like appreciate art for what it is and like see it in context and like appreciate it and look at it with a critical eye and make informed decisions about what you're going to watch. Yeah,
during dude time, you're like a chimp at a slot machine. Like there is no introspection. The only thing is stop or next.
Like during dude time, if I saw a big cage held up by a stick and the stick had a string around it, and the string was going into a bush, and I saw 2 cartoon eyes poking out of the bush looking at me and the cage, and under the cage there was a video of video game trivia facts. During dude time, I'm going into that cage 100 out of 100 times. It is not a question.
Yeah. During dude time, you could probably trick me into kissing a bunch of dynamite dressed up like a lady.
It's not horny. It's just like, hey, that dynamite lady, she's been having a rough time. You know what would cheer her up?
She needs CPR, dude.
Oh, God. Yeah. Dude time, dude.
So this is where it varies person to person. Tom, what is your sense of self during dude time? Are you self-confident? Are you patient? I mean, I want to be clear, you're a moron during this time, but your perception of yourself differs. Like, what is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, I think it is a sort of total self-annihilation where I cannot perceive myself at all. I think that the proof of this is, one, just my total inability to like control anything as I sort of float between content. I cannot make any decisions about what I see. I will watch fucking Final Fantasy trivia facts. And I've played one Final Fantasy game.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to nod the whole time like you're learning.
I'm going to learn about the fucking facts about Final Fantasy X2. I'm gonna. And I think so, knowing that, and also knowing the fact that dude time will extend to 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., no matter how early I need to get up. If I were to be in any other state other than total ego death where I can't perceive myself as a being, I would be so disappointed with myself that it would like throw me into like a dark, deep depression. And it hasn't yet. So I think that that's where I'm at.
When I'm into it, I can like watch myself game in the third person. I get out of body focus. A lot of people would associate this feeling with death and how it's scary, but like when I step back and I see myself gaming, I'm just like, this rules. Like I'm really doing well.
This is funny.
So I haven't been entering Dude Time much lately, and the reason is when I was like on FMLA and severely depressed, I was shotgunning Dude Time. I drank from the hose. And let me tell you, every day is Dude Time. It's amazing. It's great. I highly recommend it. If you want to get it all out of your system, just do it in one go.
I don't know if I think I might be too scary for that. I think it's like one of those, like non-toxic substances that's like derived from a toxic substance. Like Dude Time doesn't make you depressed, but it it has depression in it. Like that's one of the ingredients. I'm afraid I'd overdose.
Yeah. You probably would.
Well, I mean, and that sort of brings up an interesting point, which is like, why do we do it at all? Like, what's the point of doing Dude Time? Why do we not simply opt out of Dude Time?
I don't know, because if I go to bed, like I have laid down and died. It's like some weird way to lash at the world, I guess.
That's a good answer. But what I was gonna lead into, and this might just be for me, is that my cat Lucy will not fucking countenance me skipping Dude Time. She has wrapped Dude Time into her schedule, and she is now the cruel warden who demands that I spend every Dude Time exactly the same way. Because when it gets to be around 10, 11 at night, it varies. She has her schedule, but she's a fucking cat. She doesn't have a clock in her head. She sits on the edge of the couch, and she looks at where she wants me to sit, and she looks at me. And if I'm already sitting there, but I don't have the special blanket over my lap, she will just look at my lap, look up at my face, look at my lap, look up at my face. If I don't do anything, she will start meowing and biting me. So I will put the blanket over my lap. She will then get down into my lap, become a cinnamon bun, take into a sleepy nap, and she will stay there if I don't get up forever. She will stay there all night. And just there's already the inertia of Dude Time where like going to sleep is sort of self-annihilation, even more so than what Dude Time does to you. And that's very scary. I don't want to do that. And then plus on top of that, I have my kitty cat on my lap, and getting up requires disturbing her. And I know how important it is that she sits down here. Like, I got a fucking headphone adapter for my fucking electric piano, so, like, maybe I can practice piano with headphones on after my wife goes to bed. No, that's not allowed. If I do that, my cat Lucy sees me not sitting in the Dude Time spot, and she fucking loses her shit until I sit down in the right spot.
It's cool how your cat is under threat of physical violence, making you watch YouTube videos where people recap One Piece wrong. Like that's what the cat is making you do.
Yeah. And Joe, it's funny that you should mention cats. Except it's not. We planned it. It's funny that you should mention cats because I have a fun new segment that I'd like to debut on the show right now. And it's called Cat Talk. Cat Talk. Cat. Welcome to Cat Talk. It's like Cog Talk, but for cats. Joe got cats. Joe, tell me about your fucking cats. Oh my god.
Yeah, we got two cats. We have two black and white cats that had the name of Ariel in Times New Roman. There were other cats in the litter that all had various font names. Those were good. That they had those names because Winnie doesn't know this, but I was gonna do ska related names because of the black and white. One of the cats was for sure going to be named Two Tone.
Oh my god.
But no, so they're these, I don't know, they're just short hair. Cats don't have breeds, right? They're just like from the trash.
Like they do, but who gives a fuck? Like anyone who is like that into cat breeds is like, hey, calm down. We're talking about cats here. Like this is just cats. So you went, okay, so let's back up a bit. You haven't had a cat before. These are your first cats.
These aren't my first cats. My mom has had cats. Everyone in my family except me has had cats.
So I know this was true even before I asked because I'm reading all of your posts about your cats, and you have unmistakable guy who's only seen Boss Baby seeing his second movie ever vibes about cats. Like you you are like encountering thoughts that like a 2-year-old has when they see a cat for the first time, which is like, this cat's cute. They're furry. They're soft. I'm making fun, but also like I love it. Like you're right.
Like they just hang out there by the computer. It's really good. So because they were like from the same litter, they like do everything together, which is also kind of cute. Yeah,
What do they do?
Well, they like doing the making biscuits thing on the same thing, which is either a person or like one of their bed.
That means they love you, dude.
Yeah, they do this nonstop. Like now when I work, and I'm not exaggerating, like I feed them, and then like they putz around the house for a little bit, and then they basically just sit by me on the computer and they make biscuits until like 3:00.
Oh my god. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Cats love their little schedule, dude. They love it. It's insane. What do they like where do they get off having a schedule? Like what do they have to do? Nothing. And yet they're just like, "Oh shit, it's 3. Time to stop making biscuits."
Yeah. It's been a really nice mood elevator. I really should have tried cats before like SNRIs. That would have been a better move, I think, in retrospect, because they're just like a little fuzzy guy.
Yeah, dude, like okay. Like, yeah, dude. Like, have I not been telling you this forever? I think maybe I think what might have been the sticking point, however, is that my cat Lucy is very much like expert mode cat. She's like a cat on hard mode because she is sort of like a little idiot bully who like demands her way and will ask for it with violence and lash out if she doesn't get it, but she's also like too dumb to like know what she wants or like to even perceive that like it's been given to her already.
She's raging against the world that has delivered what she wants.
Exactly. So like we have told you a lot of cute Lucy stories that to us are like stories of how cute our little cute fuzzy kitty is. Isn't she the best?
I don't know.
She's
A lot
so
of them
unique.
seem like she controls your life, like and bleeds you when you stray from the path.
And here's the thing. Yeah, like we're both right. And like I feel like maybe our cute stories had sort of given you pause. Not PAWS, although that's a cute little cat pun for a cat talk if you want to think of it that way. Wink. And it may have been sort of relevant because if I understand correctly, your girlfriend was lukewarm on cats. Is this true?
Yeah, Winnie had a bad cat experience because during college she stayed at a place where, like, I guess none of the other roommates were there because it was just like a summer lease, except for a cat that clearly was lonely and had like very demanding expectations, and was also upset because the people that it wants weren't around. So like that was like her like main like experience, which was there's this persistent animal that's just like yelling and kind of like unable to communicate what it wants, and also like being scary.
Yeah, that's Lucy.
Yeah. So we went to the place where we got them, which was a cat cafe, which is really a killer business model of like you pay a guy $15 to let you into a room with a bunch of kittens that are up for adoption.
So this place specifically, the Catcade, I've been to there 2 times, And you do, as you know, Joe, you know that like what time of day you go in is important, but you can't know like which hour is the good hour. But there is a good hour where like the cats are like awake but not like too hyper. And I just have to interrupt to say this, which is the first time I went to the catcade, and it was like during that golden hour, and I just walked in and I knew I was going to be in there for an hour, and I sat down and kittens climbed up on me and went to sleep like immediately. And
Yeah.
like that was the most therapeutic like experience of my life. I've like been to therapy, and it is like 1/100th as effective as that hour in the catcade was. I cried, dude. They were fuzzy.
When we went, it wasn't that good. They were kind of all used up from the last group. They were just kind of tuckered out, and not in like a fun way where they climb on you, in the kind of way they just like look at you and don't engage. But I one of the cats there had really good vibes, and then I was like, "Tell me more about this cat." And then she was like, "You have to take this other one." And I was like, "Oh, I bet this other cat sucks." And no, the other cat is actually an angel, and the first one was the bad one.
Oh no, she's bad?
No, just by comparison, like the Roman is the perfect boy without flaw. Like when he got on the table and we said, "Get off the table, Roman," he just did, and now he doesn't go on the table anymore.
What a smart boy.
I don't know what's happening there. It's a little freaky.
Some cats know English, dude. My childhood cat Calico could be given like long like explanations of like why certain behavior wasn't acceptable, and she would like amend it. Like she had a litter of kittens in her house, and one of them was a runt, and so she did her sort of like instinctive cat behavior, which is like, this runt it's a bad ROI to feed this runt. They're likely to die. So I will she took the kitty, went up to the attic and left it there. And we, picked up the kitten and went back to Calico, and I'm like, "Calico, now I understand why you did this, and we're not mad. But just so you know, like, we have enough resources even for this runt, and we would appreciate it if you would take care of her and not give up on her like that. We don't behave like that in this household." And she was just like, "Meow," and took care of the kitten the rest of the time, totally fine. Genius cat. Understood English. Don't tell me otherwise. Don't do it. Let me have this.
That's kind of freaky. I don't really have a joke. I'm freaked out.
Cats are
like,
smart, dude.
Yeah, here's the baby you wanted to kill. Change your mind.
It's like you said. So I know that like normally the calculus is killing this baby's the right move, but like I don't know if you know this. We got a ton of cans we got so many fucking cans of wet food. Like, it's fine. Like, I don't think you took that into account. I think you want to rerun your numbers again. Okay. So Winnie, I assume, has had cat time. Does she love the cats? Are the cats beloved by all?
Yeah, the cats are beloved by all.
Hell yes.
My sister and my mom came over, and they were excited to see them. They are luckily well socialized because they were at a place where there were just strangers poking them like for 8 hours a day, basically.
That's so cute. Oh my god. Do they do anything funny yet? Like, all cats are gonna eventually, if they haven't yet, they're gonna develop their like unique little weird habits that like no other cat does. I'm wondering if they're there yet, or if maybe you haven't like noticed. Like,
one thing I noticed early on is that Roman, his shits were way looser.
That's not like an inherent thing. That's like changes.
I better not be, because it's rough.
Yeah, that's
it's fine now, but yeah.
No, but like behaviorally,
they both want the same thing. They both like being picked up and just held like idiots.
Oh my god,
but,
yes.
Yeah, and one of them yells at me. Ariel will yell at me for it, and the other one will just like politely sit and wait.
Oh my god, he's an angel. You're right.
Yeah, he's an angel. He knows English. Yeah.
So Lucy is a beautiful cat, and we love her so much. We went to adopt her, and we were in the big kitty room, and she was sleeping up on a multi-tiered cat tree that was right at my face level, and I'm like, this cat's cute, and I go to pet her, and I pet her, and she wakes up and makes the cat noise, and I if you haven't become familiar with this, you will. When cats wake up and they make the activation sound, it's like and she made that sound, and she looked at me, and she started purring and rubbing my face, and I'm like, that's the cat that I'm adopting, and that was Lucy. I forget where I was going with this. Oh, yeah, socialization. Yeah, they told us, like, Lucy. They had a shelter name, but I'm going to call her Lucy. Like, oh, Lucy, yeah, no, she's very sweet, very clingy. And I'm like, I love clingy because that means she's going to sit on my lap. That turned out to be true. She's very clingy, but she does hate other cats. And almost on cue, another cat went to, like, the tier of the cat tree next to her, and she looked at it and hissed. And I'm like, this cat's a little annoying bitch. Ooh, I can't wait to make her my own. And she really is. When people come over, though, she's very polite. She does not, menace or try to snap at anyone because she doesn't expect anything from them. She only menaces us when we are not giving her things that she knows we know to give her. But when people come over, she's on her best behavior. She becomes a foot pervert and sniffs their shoes. She puts her whole head in their shoes and sniffs deep. She will rub them and purr and then go sit down a little bit away and go to sleep and be very cute. Although the one thing that she does that some people are a little put off by is she loves to smell your breath. And one time you were over and she sort of climbed up on you and put her nose in your mouth. And we're like, oh, she wants to smell your breath. And you had this look of like, please let me go. And me and my wife were like smiling benignly, like, she wants to smell your breath. Go ahead. Breathe.
She would have stuck her whole head in, like she would have got my dangly thing in the back of my throat. That cat is fucked up with the mouth.
Well, that's because you weren't giving her she had to stick her head in because you were giving her a low stream. That was a low T breath, dude. What she wants is for you to go. What you did was you went.
Yeah, like I was polite about it. Okay, I wasn't a freak.
No, she's a freak. She's a freak. Cats are freaks. You're gonna learn this.
No, my cats are going to heaven, dude. Like they're not gonna have the weird breath play ASMR fetish that yours does.
No, maybe you did get perfect cats. They do seem like just you hit the jackpot with these little angels. I cannot wait to meet them. Hopefully, by the time this episode has come out, I will have already met them. And holy moly.
Yeah, I have no idea how big they're gonna get. I heard the little shorthand is like basically whatever they weigh at 4 months, double that, and that's like a pretty good estimate.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's gonna be like, I don't know, like 8 or 9, like 9 pounds maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Lucy's 7 and she's little.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe they let you pick them up. Lucy does not fucking tolerate being picked up, and we knew that from the start. But here's the thing, she's really fucking soft and small, so I pick her up anyway, and she doesn't like it, and she goes like, "Rrr," and I put her down, and I'm like, Lucy, imagine if you liked getting picked up, and now I can just go and pick up your cats, and then I can come home and do one of my favorite things, which is be like, Lucy, I just came home from seeing another better cat, and then she goes like, no, and then I'm like, hee, I love you, and I pet her.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably be more normal about my cats. Like I'm just gonna feed them normal stuff, talk to them normal, maybe read some wikis to them, but like nothing crazy.
Yeah, we'll see how long that fucking lasts. You'll soon learn that every single song, like the reason music was invented, you might think is to like write songs and such. And then that's like the end. Like the goal was to have the song, and then the song was written, and it's like, we're done. There it is. That's music, baby. No, music was invented to create a bunch of beta versions of songs that you then take across the finish line by changing the lyrics to be about your cat.
See, I already kind of do the lazy songs. I just make them about swears, just like really low-hanging fruit. I got a laugh out of Winnie because I sang Rock You Like a Hurricane as Cuck You Like a Hurricane. And I don't know, maybe they'll be more cat-focused now.
Yeah, dude, you were like a caveman who like was like smearing colored clay against the wall, and you will soon become a Dutch master painting an incredible vista. Like you're about to level up because you're gonna, instead of saying rock you like a hurricane, cuck you like a hurricane.
It's pretty good, right? Yeah, that's good.
You're gonna be saying like pet you like a hurricane to Ariel as you pet her.
Okay. I haven't considered that I could use it to narrate things.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. The music is not just like singing the praises of the cats, just in general, which it is, but also you're gonna be, noticing specific behaviors that you will then map onto songs, and then those songs will become like part of your repertoire. And man, it just becomes a part of you, dude. The cats are so cute.
I will end the incessant cat talking segment with one thing that I was amazed worked. Which was they were like in goblin mode because it was like sunset, and they were like, we love the blood moon, we need it, please let us see it. And I just Googled music that makes cats sleep, and I put it on my tablet outside their door. They were still like, in that transition phase, and they just went to sleep. And we know this because we put a camera in there.
Oh, my little baby monitor. They're babies. Dude, that's fucked. Lucy has never once reacted in any way to any image on a screen or sound coming out of a speaker. She's just like, shit's fake. I'm not tricked.
Yeah, I'm going to blast these cats with ska until they're
Hell
cool.
Yeah. Cog Talk. Cog Talk. This is going to be a new type of Cog Talk, because this ain't going to be us telling our Cog stories. No. I opened up a Cog story submission form to the public, and people can submit their own Cog horror stories. And here's where it pays off, because I'm going to read them. I'm going to read them on the show. I have not read any of these beforehand, so I hope that they're funny. If any of them start being in Latin, I will stop saying them out loud.
Yeah, because the devil sent that one. He's always sending them. He's trying to get Tom to say the words.
Yeah, he's trying to get me to say Latin because it has a spell. One time I almost got close. I have a horn now. That's from when I said too much Latin. I try to cut the horn off. It comes back. Anyway, let's do it. Joe, are you ready for some fucking Cog stories to just hoot at some crazy shit that you didn't know?
Yeah, because I work today. So then I, of course, want to talk more about the act of working. So let's do it.
I mean, you joke, but we have a fucking podcast that says in the first line that a quarter of it is about labor.
I think the most awful prisons are the ones we make ourselves.
It's true, dude. Although I will say, this is sort of apropos of nothing. There's a guy on Twitter who asked us oh, what's this show about? Is it a lot about anime? And I'm like, not really. It's mostly about labor. And they were like, oh, like giving birth? And I was just like, what if I said yes? Like, what would you do?
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of Googling lately, and I guess the whole baby just slides out of there.
Yeah, no, it seems wrong. Like, it's probably hurt. Probably, I don't think it would hurt. I must be reading this wrong, because I don't think people would let that whole thing go to production if it still hurt. Like, they would get the hurting out in alpha.
I wouldn't be in the same room as it happened, I'll tell you that much.
Anyway, our first Cog story, user submitted. Our first listener submitted Cog stories from Jamie L. Thank you, Jamie. And I will read it thusly. Once, when working as a temp for my town council in what was my first week there, I was presented with this huge wall. Imagine, basically, the length of half an entire office, floor to halfway up the wall, 3 or 4 shelves filled with files. Now, Joe, I'm imagining it, and I imagine that the rest of this will be like, nothing bad happened, the files were normal, and I didn't have to do anything with them.
Yeah.
So, back to the story. We're talking thousands of files. My job was to open every single one. Whew, I already don't like this. Check them for any before a certain date, and throw those ones away. We're... Oh, man. I'm just looking at the next couple lines, and just... This hurts.
Go ahead.
Were they all in a sane, reasonable order? No. Were the contents in the folders in the same order? Rarely. Did I spend every hour in this office doing this until the end of my month there as a temp? Yes, I did. This is like legit torture. Like, this is like, I think The Hague would like recognize this as torture.
What value does this produce? Like whose life is easier because this person sweated in the file mines?
No one! Because, like, clearly the files aren't getting used. If they were getting used, they'd be in order. Like, there would be, like, alphabetical order or, like, date order or something. But, like,
did you play Control? I think every time you, like, go to that creepy, like, motel, you should just have to do this job instead.
I love that the specific, like, task is, like, throw out anything before a certain date. What happened that date? Was that, like, the date?
It was
like,
9/11. It was 9/11.
Oh, my God. No.
Yeah.
It was all the five. Okay, so the company, the town council, the town is New York. And all the files are just like, we will never see the Twin Towers fall down. And then, like, one day, all that became very embarrassing. That day, 9/11. And so they have to get rid of all the evidence or else they'll look like chumps. Someone will open up the files and be like, we will never see the Twin Towers fall down. Are you sure? Because I sure did. It was awful. Very, very traumatic. Never forget. 9/11, never forget. How did you forget? And they'll be like, we didn't forget. We need to get a temp.
Can I tell you about a sketch idea that I never got to fabricate in anything meaningful, but it had a very dumb premise? And it was
yes.
It was just like the newspaper on 9/12 that didn't run 9/11 as the main story, and they were just like, I didn't hear about it.
I thought people were talking about 911. That's old news. I already knew about that.
And it was
when I cut my finger.
And like the tone of the meeting is just like, boy, is my face red. Just sort of like not too hard on themselves about it.
Just but like, folks, we chunked it. I'll admit it. We stepped in it.
Yeah, we'll be the first to admit we should have ran the story about the terrorist attack on domestic soil.
Oh, fuck. That'd be pretty funny. Joe, you want another Cog story?
Yeah. Is this one file-based?
I don't know. Oh, man, this one's long. Holy moly. Strap in. This is by Sean Reichard. Hell yeah. Sean is my internet homie from my high school days. We posted on the same forums. And also, I tell you what, I would have bet money that his name is pronounced Reichard, which he has provided a pronunciation guide that it is actually Reichard, which, oopsie, I'm sorry, because I've definitely said your name multiple times before on the show as Reichard.
Second way is cooler.
Yeah. So, here's the Cog story. As a late teen, I worked for a few summers as a baseball usher for a collegiate league team, basically the rung below the minor league. I bet no one weird is involved with such an organization. I spent many shifts taking tickets and tying wristbands for people, and then more or less was paid to stand around. More often than not, I worked in the club area along the first baseline. There was a private patio and boxes you could rent, but for the most part, the club area was a big morass for drunk people to wander in. Because the big draw for people was that for $40 a head, you could have unlimited food and beer. Holy moly! That's not bad.
I don't like baseball that much, but that's good.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was just shitty pretzels.
Yeah, $40 of pretzels, dude. Oh my God. And like, they don't have because of COVID, they don't have the big cranks that shoot out chopped up onions. I think they do something to those onions that make them like extra good. They put opium in those onions for sure.
No, it's the velocity they come out of the machine. It changes it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Because those onions, I could eat $40 of those onions straight up. Don't even put a hot dog on it. Okay. Suffice to say, things were often buck wild, especially on nights when local bars were hosting ride shares. Context. Sometimes groups of people would just show up in chartered school buses, party at the ballpark, and then pile back on the buses. Rare was the evening when I walked by these buses to get a ride home from my dad, when I didn't see handles of vodka being passed from window to window. It seems like a party time. It seems like nothing weird's going to happen. Like an easy job full of party dudes where you stand around mostly. I think there's no twist coming.
I'm getting the impression that no one cares about the minor league baseball team. There's just like a magical unlimited beer place.
Sounds awesome. I mean, if I liked drinking more, I would be like, let's go, but I don't, so I'm not gonna. Anyway, on the night in question, as we took tickets and tied wristbands, my coworker and I watched with increasing bemusement the approach of a gentleman who had clearly been pre-gaming heavily before coming to the ballpark. I would say he was the outlier of the group he was with, who were wearing like polo shirts and khakis, looking like they'd emerged from the heavily air-conditioned hallways of insert local tech company here. This dude, on the other hand, was probably 5'6", with a handlebar mustache, arms and shoulders puffed out, kind of like a bulldog's. Go look at a bulldog, and you'll know what I'm talking about. I know. I've seen Joe's sister's bulldogs. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He was wearing a bowling shirt and an enormous yellow foam cowboy hat emblazoned with our team's logo. I bought it for fun, he hurriedly explained to me as I took his ticket.
Yes.
I bought it for fun. Okay.
I'm about to be the main character.
When you go, okay, maybe if it's a collegiate league baseball team where the clear purpose is to drink and eat for essentially free, maybe in that scenario, wearing silly merch with the team's logo on it requires an explanation. But I'm feeling like most of the time when you're going to a sports game and you got some shit on you that has this fucking logo on it, don't offer an explanation.
Buddy, I don't know if you know this, but the team that's on your hat is playing inside this building.
Like tonight, even. Oh, fuck. I bought it for fun. I didn't do it for work. It was for fun.
He's letting you know that he did not do it under duress. He was not coerced.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. Okay, so, yeah. He got in. He took his ticket. Then the cowboy hat man and his group descended into the pit. I thought that would be the last we'd see of them, but half an hour later, this guy wandered back to us, beer in hand, and he was ready to talk about corn. See, he worked at an ethanol plant, doing work that, as near as I could tell, involved a lot of ladders. He was emphatic that ethanol was the fuel of the future and would eventually replace gasoline. And really, when you thought about it, corn was a miracle vegetable. You could eat it, he said. You could make syrups. You could extract various compounds from it and add to meat and medicine. Like powders, he said in a hushed tone. Okay, so, Joe, pause. What's your take on this guy? What's the temperature on this story? I'm feeling like this is chill. Like, I love this guy.
I already knew that stuff about corn. Like, I'm not that impressed.
Yeah, but, like, as far as these Cog stories go, you're getting paid to stand around and a guy is coming up to you and he's like, corn on the cob, like, you can get it off the cob.
A miracle vegetable. Yeah.
I'm feeling like if I was in this scenario, I'd be like, totally fine. No twist coming. Not gonna be weird. Let's see if I'm right.
Let's drop the hammer.
This fool spent 20 minutes talking about corn. So I was super surprised when he segued into his next topic of conversations. Aliens. Quote, they're real, Alas, we didn't get a lot of alien talk. I was about ready to ask if he'd seen any because, fuck it was a Wednesday. And so when some of his group came back to check on him / corral him back to the club area. Now, it just so happened one of the staff photographers was walking by and, seeing a big group of people, including this one dude in team merchandise, decided to snap a photo. These photos invariably went up on the team website for promotional purposes. I think people were generally asked permission. I know this group was asked, but I also think it was in their terms of conditions of ticket purchase. Anyway, as the photographer walked off into the club, I glanced at Foam Hat Man to see the smile dripping down his face, revealing a look of panic and dread. Oh no, he got fucking get outed. Oh no. Oh shit. The original person got free. Fuck. Okay, Joe. I know I made a joke about Get Out. I want you to guess before I go on and read the reason why. Even if there is one, there might not be. What is your guess for why he is so mortified by this?
By a picture being taken?
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is a variation on a Dale dribble. Like just sort of like no pictures ever.
That's how the aliens get you.
Yeah. Like I am fully confident in my belief that he thinks this is a government concern and not at all alien related.
Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, fuck. Okay. I just read ahead a little bit. It's funny, dude, and it's not what you think. He shuffled on and caught up with the photographer, begging him to delete the photo. Turns out he was on probation from the ethanol plant for drinking on the job. Quote, "They can't find out, man." And that was the last I saw of Foam Cowboy Hat Man.
That's really sad because he clearly loves corn.
Yes. Firing him for some behavioral issues, you're losing a fucking true believer, someone who would commit with their whole soul. He didn't say corn's a good vegetable. He said it was a miracle vegetable.
Yeah, I said it was God's fingers or whatever.
Fuck you, dude. God's fingers.
There is also the possibility that he can only talk about corn when he's drunk.
Oh, okay. That's
right.
like when he's in vino veritas. It's like that's when he finally is like able to say what he truly thinks, which is like corn has 101 uses. It can become powder.
Yeah, and like at work, he has to go into the bathroom and do the limitless pill, aka a cold beer, and then he like can say all the corn facts.
Yeah. Okay. Joe, you think we're good for one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
This is a short one. I'm looking at this as a short one. This one is from Jim. Just the first name. No further identifying details. This is just Jim. So Jim, thank you.
Hey, Jim.
Here's the story. I briefly worked at a car manufacturing plant that I cannot name due to signing lots of NDAs. Well, I will certainly guess it for you. It was one of the worst places to work, but there was always some wild stuff going on. One day, just after our lunch trailer was taken away by a crane, which, pause, what the fuck does that mean?
Like, I'm imagining a bunch of people in a big crane game. I don't understand.
So is the lunch trailer where lunch comes from, or like do you have to go into a trailer to eat your lunch? And in either case, why does it need to be craned away?
I need to know more.
This is scary. I don't like this. This is like the setup, and it's already got me like feeling like kind of nauseous.
Keep going. I believe in you.
Oh, fuck. I read ahead a little bit, and I was right to feel that. Who are you? One day, after our lunch trailer was taken away by a crane, we were followed and watched by a drone. Our foreman said, redacted emerald mine billionaire, likes to send his fancy drone out to watch us. I am going to guess that it was the Tesla company that he worked for, Jim, but I understand that you cannot confirm or deny.
Fuck. I don't know what to say. That's just creepy behavior. It's just a creep. It's just creep behavior.
It's
that's Funko Pops.
It's Funko Pop monster bullshit. I need to look at my little guys. I need to make sure that they aren't fucking talking about unions, because that's like
My dumb idea that they lived in a big vending machine is not incorrect, because that is what the boss sees it as, like sort of a big gachapon machine that builds cars.
Yeah, he has a bunch of Funko Pops that have like a thingy like Woody from Toy Story where you pull the string and he says something. And if he hears you saying like collective bargaining, he's like, this one's broken, and throws you away.
It wasn't even that. I remember like he didn't like the color yellow, which had hazard implications. You don't.
Yeah, a big yellow word warning is just bad vibes. Like that bums me, that harshes me.
I don't want people to think they work in a place that's not safe, you know?
Oh, fuck. Okay, there's more, Joe, there's more. So, our foreman said that redacted emerald mine billionaire likes to send his fancy drone out to watch us. We then had to run and hide in the tunnels under the plant from the drone. Because even though we were on lunch, redacted billionaire who makes bad Twitter jokes might still fire us.
What?
This is like legit, and I know that saying something is it's like Black Mirror. I know that's hack, but like there is legit an episode of Black Mirror where like you have to run away from the drones because they'll get you, and that's this, folks.
You have to hide in the sewer like the faction in Demolition Man. Like that's so fucking strange.
I'll tell you what, and this might be a shocker to some of you people. I thought very little of Elon Musk prior to this story.
Yeah, but now that I found out he got a drone, and I think that's pretty cool.
No, I think he sucks ass. I think he's the worst. I think even, oh man, what an asshole. I can't. Okay, my big fucking mark of shame, my scarlet letter, is that like prior to all of this, like I thought Grimes was like really cool. Like I was like that. Her songs, they're great. She's a great artist, talented. And it's it's not impossible for someone to be a talented artist, or also be Elon Musk's girlfriend and have a weird child with him. But it certainly it makes me less excited to be a fan.
Yeah, I never felt betrayed on that front because I never listened to her, so I just got to experience everyone like deal with that on their own. Why I was just like, cool, that's fine.
Yeah. So Grimes is in her huge mansion, and she like comes across Elon Musk gaming with the Xbox controller. She's like, "What you playing, honey?" And he's like, "Hello, Grimes. I'm not playing a game."
Grimes?
Hello, Grimes. I'm not playing a game. Instead, I am looking at my Funkos, seeing which one I will fire. I am French now. I am French Elon Musk. I eat the croissant. I eat the bear. I eat hamon bear.
Yeah, that was it. That was good.
Yeah, I had to lean into it because I realized I was doing French like halfway through.
You got real muttery.
Yeah, well, what can you do? Folks, sometimes in Anime Sickos, we swing for the fences and we just hit a little dribbler. And sometimes we get caught out at first base. And a guy with a foam cowboy hat with an Anime Sickos logo on it yells, "I got this for fun, don't photograph me." And then the episode ends. Don't photograph me. I don't want people to know I also love drinking, not at work. Folks, that's been Anime Sickos. Thank you for listening. I've been Tom in Anime Sicko.
I'm Joe in Anime Sicko.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.